So this was recorded a while ago, but then Sin forgot about it despite referencing it like multiple times in other things we recorded. So in today's episode, I'm doing really big air quotes, today's episode, it's like 9 months old, could have gestated a child since we recorded it. In today's episode, Richie and Sin share their impressions of 3 episodes of the Russian Winnie the Pooh, which is called Vini Puh.
Hello, this is Abruitus, just coming back from a dimension where Elden Ring is out to tell you all that this is Richie and Sin's impressions of Vini Puh Episode 1.
We just watched the Russian Winnie the Pooh. One episode of several. It was only 10 minutes long. Yes.
And what did you think of it?
Well, I have not seen the original, like, Disney Winnie the Pooh. And I've not read Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
My understanding of Winnie the Pooh comes entirely from the Disney sing-along songs compilations, where they'd release tapes that were just the songs. And my brother would watch them all the time. So I know Winnie the Pooh just from songs, but I have no idea what happens in it. I just know that he's a kind of lazy, retiring bear who likes honey and is proud of the fact he's fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the socialist realist Winnie the Pooh, though.
Honestly, I haven't watched this in like over 20 years.
Yeah.
And my memory of almost all Russian cartoons is that they're very, very sad. And
Yeah.
I remember not liking them very much as a kid and preferring Disney cartoons.
Now that you're an adult, and all the optimism's been beaten out of you, suddenly he seems very relatable.
Yeah, like now I get it. I understand, like this was never meant for kids, I guess.
He looks tired and depressed and stressed.
Yeah.
And the episode we watched was just about him trying to get some honey and failing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just having to just, like, accept that it didn't work and give up.
Yeah, and go home. Yeah.
I do like this Winnie the Pooh design a lot more.
You know what? I like it too. Like, now I can appreciate it.
He seems much more relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just, like, tired, miserable. But he's cute. He's not, like, tired and miserable in an aggressive way. He's just, like, just another fucking day of this shit. That's what he's like. He just wants to get some honey.
Yeah.
He gets his friend to help him. He comes up with this plan, and no matter how hard he and his friend work, it all just fails, and he gives up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the voice actor, it's not like the voice actor doesn't sound like like a character in a kid's cartoon.
Yeah, he just sounds like just a guy. He's like, ugh.
Yeah. Like this again.
Getting too old for this shit.
Yeah. And have you ever seen this?
No, and it's vaguely disturbing.
Well,
I mean, like, I know this was for the Moscow Olympics, but like,
yeah.
in a 2019 post-DeviantArt context, that facial expression.
Well, his name is Misha.
Yeah. That was David Hayter's character on Major Dad.
Oh my god. So Winnie the Pooh has a little bit of that going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Winnie the Pooh is like Misha in like 10 years or something.
Yes! Oh my
like
god,
he's
yeah.
peaked, and now it's like,
Actually.
No, or it's like they were at high school together, and Misha is the, like, popular athletic one. And Pooh is just, like, this, like, disaster. Yeah, this Russian Winnie the Pooh is like a disaster bear.
Hello, here are their impressions of episode 2.
Tell us your impression of the second episode of Russian Winnie the Pooh.
I'm liking this a lot.
Okay.
I find that this Winnie the Pooh is just like he's just like a prick. Because the whole plot of this episode is that he was hungry and didn't want to have to get his own food. So he just went to someone else's house, unannounced, and just got them to give him a whole lot of food.
Yeah.
Pretending he was there for some other reason. And then he got too fat to leave.
He got stuck in the door. Oh. But then he got out, and it was... Well, this one sort of had a happy ending, right? Because he got food, and
Yeah.
he wasn't hungry anymore.
Yeah, he's just, like, drifting around sponging off people.
Yeah.
And it's not even like he didn't even ask. It was just deception. He was just pretending that he went to visit Rabbit because he wanted to see him, and then he just hung around to get fed.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he was full, he came up with an excuse to leave. Yeah. And he sings a song, but it's just about him. And most of the lyrics are...
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I feel like in like the Disney one, they probably would have learned a lesson about friendship or something. But this is just like this completely self-centered child bear who just wants to get food and is willing to lie and deceive people in order to get it.
So, what is the lesson that you learned from these two episodes?
I think like this Winnie the Pooh is about being a garbage bear that is just like has nothing. Has to like scrape everything together to make ends meet. And you hang out with your friends and you try to like there's something you want, you try to get it.
Uh-huh.
You fail, and then instead of learning a lesson, you're just like, oh, fuck that. I'm just gonna go find someone else and just sponge off them.
How would you rate this Winnie the Pooh? Or this series, or this cartoon?
Well, I like it more than the Disney sing-along songs version of Winnie the Pooh that I have seen. But I think this one is a lot more relatable. I feel like a lot of like millennials and Gen Z people can relate to this. Like, it's about being a loser with no prospects and no future, who has to sponge off the presumably inherited wealth of Rabbit to get by.
We should do like analysis of each character.
Yeah, it's like Pooh is like just a disaster. Piglet is just like his best friend who hangs around him, and then Rabbit is like he's like the guy that you can like sponge off this guy and he doesn't mind. So I think there's a positive message in there for the 21st century.
Hello, here are their impressions of episode 3. I listened ahead a bit, and Richie does not cope well. I feel sorry for that man.
The end.
Oh god, I can finally breathe out.
So Richie, tell us what you just experienced.
That was incredibly stressful.
What was incredibly stressful?
It was Eeyore's birthday. he was depressed. He just sat there staring at his reflection in a lake and crying. His tail had gone missing.
Yeah.
Then Piglet and Pooh go to get him something for his birthday. Pooh goes to get him some honey, but eats it all on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
Piglet gets him a balloon, but then Piglet is so excited that he's got him a present that he trips over and it bursts.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't give him anything. And I found the Piglet thing incredibly stressful because, like, that's a thing that happens in cartoons a lot. Where it's like, oh, I'm so anxious to get this thing, oh no, I've dropped it. But they really, really linger on the gradual realization in Piglet that he's ruined everything. Like, it's not played as a joke, it's like, they really, really emphasize Piglet's, like, the dawn of the realization that he's ruined everything. Pooh doesn't care because he is a trash bear.
He has sawdust in his head, so he doesn't care.
Yeah. So then they go and see Owl, who we think is a girl because Owl is a female word in Russian.
Mm-hmm.
And also Owl, like, has a very high voice and wears a pink hat.
Mm-hmm.
So we think they're trying to say Owl is a girl in this. Owl's design looks like it is melting. Owl looks like her head is on upside down. Like her beak is up higher than her eyes. And the eyes are like, they look like, I think she's meant to have like jowls or something, but they're like sinking. It seriously looks like when they were doing this, they accidentally put the head on upside down. Owl's voice is horrible. It's like, and it discovered that Owl, like some sort of deranged serial killer, is using Eeyore's tail as part of her house. She's just incorporated it into the design. So Eeyore, who is alive, Owl is using body parts as a doorbell, like to ring her doorbell. And again, like, it's again not really played as a joke. Pooh is like, I've seen this before.
And he's like very serious too. He's like, I think my friend would like it back.
Yeah.
It's just, it was a little disturbing.
This is horrifying. And then it keeps showing like that Eeyore's birthday is a disaster. Eeyore looks like he has just given up.
Yeah.
In the Disney one, Eeyore's like, oh, well, I guess the wrong thing happened again. This Eeyore's just like, he's in this state of just horrible, like, depression and just anhedonia. There's just nothing happening.
Yeah, and you just look at him and you want to cry because he's so, like...
And this was a 2-part episode. This is like an epic.
Yeah. This was longer than the other ones, yeah.
I barely had anything to say. Because I was just like, it's so anxiety-inducing. I was just sitting there like, God, I just want this to get to the end so this horrible thing is resolved. And then Piglet and Pooh bring Eeyore the empty honey pot and the broken balloon. And Eeyore attempts to actually, like, have fun with them by putting the broken balloon in the honey pot and lifting the thing out and putting it back in again. And it's so, like, oh, God, you think Grave of the Fireflies is bad. This is, like... I actually had trouble breathing. I was just, like, sitting there like, Christ, this is so miserable. And then Owl shows up in her hideous bonnet with her melting eyes and just gives Eeyore the tail back, and Eeyore sticks it on, and then everything's better again. The thing is, like, this only really had one episode's worth of plot, but they stretch it out by just focusing on how terrible everything is.
Yeah, and the worst part was when, Piglet, he wanted to get the balloon to Eeyore really fast. So he
Yeah.
accidentally broke the balloon, but then when he comes face to face with Eeyore being like, I got you a beautiful balloon, and Eeyore is actually happy, right?
Yeah, that's how bad things are.
Yeah, and then he was like, oh, it's beautiful and amazing. And Piglet's like, yeah, except I broke it. And then it was just this, like, horrible moment where Eeyore is depressed again and Piglet is crying. And it's just like...
It's just, like, lingering on these, like, uncomfortable... It's like Pinter. It's just lingering on these uncomfortable pauses constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, can you imagine watching this as a kid?
I have trouble watching it as an adult.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think there's only 3 episodes.
Oh, they were building up to this. I'm trying to think if, like, anything comparable I've ever seen. The thing, it's like a joke. It's like if you were to, oh yeah, the Russian Winnie the Pooh, where it's just like everything breaks and they sit around crying, but it's real.
Well, thank you, Richie.
I don't know if I should thank you. That was traumatic.
Would you recommend people watch this to further understand the Soviet culture?
I'm still trying to figure out what the deal with this is, because in the original Winnie the Pooh, they are toys.
Uh-huh.
That's why you can remove Eeyore's tail and put it back on again.
Mm-hmm.
This one doesn't seem to... This one seems a bit more ambiguous. They seem like actual animals. Which makes the Eeyore's tail used on the... like, incredibly morbid.
Yeah. Actually.
Yeah. Yeah. But then they just stick it on at the end and I guess he was a toy?
No, I think they just stuck it on.
It's like something from Hellraiser. Okay. There used to be, and possibly still is because I haven't checked, this incredibly explicit, like, borderline torture porn furry comic called Jack. Where one of the characters' tails is ripped off, and like she's taunted with it, like I ripped your tail. That's what this made me think of.
Oh no, Richie, no. Oh damn.
Yeah.